Hi, my name is Schweta and I'm here to talk about a beautiful topic, the power of early years. Yes, imagine a child who is just born with a supercomputer inside his head turns out to be a super successful individual who is thriving financially, academically, socially, emotionally, spiritually. And do you know all of this is the secret behind the early years? Now, what are these early years? Generally, you would say it from 0 to 8 years. However, in the language of child psychology and neuroscience, early years would be defined as the years from 0 to 5 years. And let me take you on this journey with 5 beautiful insights right from the time that the child is born. So let's understand. Insight number 1, a child's brain is developing even before the child is born. Meaning, when the bacha is in mother's womb, their brain development starts from then. And on the day the baby is born, a child's brain already has 86 billion neurons. 86 billion neurons in this brain. The neurons are basic brain cells which are waiting to be connected to each other. And now these neural connections, can you see these red lines? These are the neural connections that build from the time that mama holds the baby for the first time. One connection is developed. When the mama feeds the baby, another line, the connection is developed. When father plays with the baby, another neural connection is developed. Meaning, with environment and exposure, these neural connections, they keep on developing. So much so that by the time a child is 2 years old, they have double the neural connections that we have. Imagine the amount of growth that happens in a child's brain in 0 to 5 years. And with this, we come to the second insight, which is the explosion of neural connection in the baby's brain. When a child is born, the neural connections start to the degree that in 1 second, 1 million neural connections are developing. Yes, in 1 second. Meaning, in this 1 minute that I spoke with you, a child already has 100 million neural connections already developed. Can you imagine the pace? And hence comes the big fat tantrums. Have you ever seen your niece, nephew, or your children who are young and they have so many tantrums? Tantrums are outbursts of emotions where they're screaming, yelling, crying for smallest of the things. Why? Because their emotional brain is developing much faster than their thinking brain. Their emotional brain, amygdala, develops much faster than their thinking brain, which is the prefrontal cortex, which means that their brain already gets introduced to so many emotions. But the emotions which are to be regulated, that part of the brain is highly underdeveloped and which develops till as much as early 20s. So, when the child is having a tantrum, mother might think, what is this? I'm so tired of you. But the baby is really trying to tell you, Mama, I'm having these emotions that I don't know how to deal with. Mama, I need help. My bacha needs help. And in that case, when a mother shouts at the baby, it is causing a lot of stress to already stressed brain, because my child's brain is overwhelmed at that time and my child is asking that, Mama, help me, please don't scold me. And mama has 2 ways to react. Number 1, what is this? I'm tired of you. Or, oh my poor baby, emotional regulators are still underdeveloped. Logic brain is very underdeveloped. Come, bacha, I will explain this to you. Mama also feels frustrated. When I do so, I take deep breaths. I logically, emotionally connect with my child, explain things to my child. And that's how I develop emotional resilience in my child. This is the scientific way to deal with a tantruming child. Understand, children's problems are as big as your big problems. For them, chocolate, car, etc. is a big problem, and hence they have a big tantrum because of it. Does my tantruming child mean that there's something wrong with my bacha? No. Does it mean that there's something wrong in my parenting style? No. Every 2-year-old in this world will go through this, be it Alia Bhatt's child, be it Kareena Kapoor, be it yours or mine. All I as a parent need to do is empathize, be patient, be calm, acknowledge my child's emotions, and know that children are hardwired for connection and co-regulation. My child needs my regulation. He cannot separate and self-regulate himself. Their brains are hardwired. Mama, please samjhao mujhe. Right? My child is trying to tell me, Mama, parenting is never about me. Parenting is about parents. Parents need to understand. We need to learn better. We need to be better. And that's how we can raise a generation that is free thinkers, smart thinkers. Because a stressed mind cannot be a leader. A confident mind can be a leader. And these experiences, early developmental years, are most crucial, and hence the mission to make parents aware is a strong mission that we are working on. Right? Understand the difference between a 3-year-old brain versus 30-year-old brain. There are so many 30-year-olds who still cannot regulate themselves. We know so many of us around, right? That even adults cannot contain their own emotions. How can we expect a little child with such immature logic brain to contain themselves? Not possible. Right? Also, we should know that when a child is throwing a tantrum, he's not trying to give you a hard time. The bacha is having a hard time. Right? Can we go next, please? Next, please. When we talk of early development, we cannot, please, next. When we talk of early, yes, that's it. When we talk of early years, we cannot stress enough importance on the power of subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the autopilot. It is the hypnotic state where my child absorbs everything like a sponge. Beliefs, emotions, fears, habits that last a lifetime. And did you know that all of you sitting here, 90% of your habits, of your beliefs were already formed in your 0 to 5 years. You are a byproduct of your early years. And do we see this elephant? Who is this elephant at a very young age was stuck to a puny rope to a rod. It tried to break free, but it couldn't. And after a few years, elephant tried again and it couldn't. As the years went by, the elephant grew mighty. It could just give the rope a kick and it could run away. But entire life, this elephant was stuck to this rope because it kept on thinking that I cannot break free. The limitation was not in elephant's potential. The limitation was in elephant's belief. And I want to ask you, are you also being limited by your own belief? Because a lot of times we create these limiting beliefs in our mind and we stop ourselves. Whereas this world is an open opportunity for all of us to explore, to grow, to thrive. But we are where we are is all because of our mindset. And 90% of which is built in your 0 to 5 years. Moving forward, I remember very precisely Agastya, my son, who is 5-year-old, had his martial arts examination of yellow belt, and he was telling me, Mama, I'm very scared for my exam tomorrow. And I told him, every single morning we practice affirmations. We practice affirmations saying, I'm confident, I'm smart, I love going to school, I am a champion, I love making new friends. And when we practice these affirmations, it registers at the back of his subconscious mind and manifests into his personality. The importance of repeated affirmations cannot be undermined, not even by science. Why? Because the words that are spoken in the house becomes your child's inner voice. However you are speaking with your child, they are going to carry that wherever they go, at school, at parties, wherever they are meeting their friends. Everything that you are doing at your home in terms of the words that you use, your conduct, your kids are taking an imprint, an impression of that on their brain wherever they go. So make sure that the words that you use in your house are pure, powerful, positive, because you are shaping your child's entire life by simplest of the words that you use in your house. I remember one of my students, 5-year-old, comes and tells me, Ma'am, I'm very bad at sports. I'm like, you're a 5-year-old kid. How can you be bad at sports? Because his mother would constantly tell him, you are so clumsy, you are so bad, you are so messy. And the limitation was not in his potential. The limitation was in his belief. He was made to believe that he's clumsy, which translated into a skill that he thinks that I'm bad at sport. So, every single morning practicing affirmations with your child really does help. And what are the golden rules for affirmation? They have to be in present tense. You cannot say that I will be calm. I am calm. Second, it has to be in positive language. I am not angry. No, that's wrong. I am calm. And third and most important, you feel it when you say it, because 37 trillion cells in your body are listening to each thought in your mind. And your body, your entire system is taking the message from each thought in your brain. So whenever you are having negative thoughts, your entire immune system, digestive system is taking a message from your thoughts, and they are responding accordingly. Right? So make sure your thoughts and your affirmations are pure, powerful, positive. Moving further, when we talk of the everyday magic, on daily basis, your child does not really need expensive toys or gifts to really thrive in their life or to boost their brain power. All your child really needs is a whole parent, a parent who is present with them. And today's generation parents are truly over-gifting, over-pampering kids with hundreds of things. But children are deprived of basic fundamentals. So what are these fundamentals that children should be getting? Number one, emotionally present, both the parents. Number two, giving them responsibility. Don't do kids' work. Let them do it. Even if they're slow, even if they're messy, let them do it. Third is defined boundaries, freedom within the framework. Kids must have boundaries. Otherwise, they'll go all crazy and they'll make you crazy. Fourth is balanced meals, local, regional, traditional, seasonal food, which our grandma used to eat and feed. It has to come back into our houses. Fifth, adequate sleep, a minimum of 10 hours of sleep in 0 to 7 years. Very crucial for their brain development, because entire day, whatever their brains are absorbing, for it to process, they need to sleep. That's when everything that's happened in the day processes in their brain. Next is outdoor play. 1 hour of raw outdoor play in the garden, in the nature. Next is cognitive, creative board games, where we are having beautiful family time, we are having silly dance, we are playing music, dancing, board games, block play, we are just running around in the house, pillow fighting. That kind of environment is where my child is going to thrive. I need parents to be home at least 1 hour that you are wholly present with your child. Next is family dinner. Have one meal together with your family, no matter how busy you are. One meal, because 0 to 7 years, you are the primary influence on your child. After 7 years, who is the primary influence in your child's life? Friends. And God forbid if tomorrow any friend is going to influence my child with a bad habit, my child will have so much connection with the family that he's going to come and talk to me about it. So those kind of family connections, family rituals are important. And lastly, I want to talk about is don't keep nagging your child all day. Don't do this, don't do that. Your child is going to do selective listening. He's not going to listen to you. Your child truly needs emotional connect, where my mama is my emotional coach, my guide. Every night before sleeping, I'm talking to my child, I'm explaining, Bacha, today this happened. Can we improvise on this? Do you think this was right? This was wrong? That's how you connect with your child. And what are certain overstimuli that my child's brain is being subjected to in today's age? Is number one, excess screen. Simple guidelines for screen is that do not introduce YouTube shorts or Instagram reels, because constant visual audio change every 15 seconds is making my child's brain popcorn brain. They cannot focus and concentrate because every 15 seconds there is some new stimuli coming. And my child will develop ADHD. My child cannot focus, cannot have a great attention span. Right? So having distance, low stimulation educational TV shows, watching with a guardian twice a week is great screen time guideline. Avoid excess sugar, salt, packaged food. These things should not exist in your pantry because it is doing so much harm to your child's immature nervous system and their brain. Third is excess yelling, shouting, complaining by parents to the child. Don't have over expectation from your child. And lastly, do not overschedule your child's routine. Let them have free play. Let them not be in structure all the time. Let them have free time, because that's when their brain is going to become very creative. And last, I want to talk about is early education is so much more beyond academics. When we think of early education, a lot of people think, oh, it's about learning ABC, 1, 2, 3 and rhymes. But at my school, when I deal with 600 children online and offline, I know that we are creating the citizens of the future, where when they are in the library, they are doing reading, creative imagination, at amphitheater, their language is developing, at social street, their friendships are fostering, at spirit park, their fine motor, gross motor is developing, their decision making, problem solving, their focus and concentration, presence of mind, their spiritual learning, all of which is developing in early years. Think of this as a game of tennis, where you do serve and repeat, right? You serve and then the ball comes in and then you repeat that. Think of this like a game of tennis, where every interaction that your child is trying to make with you, they are serving you with some emotion, and we have to return it with lots of kindness, empathy. They are curious little minds. They have hundreds of questions. Answer them with 200 answers. Because we need to feed these curious minds with lots and lots of logic, kindness, and empathy. And today, I know that when I raise my two beautiful children, Agastya and Amara, and thousands of other kids worldwide, I don't see who they are today. I see who they could become. They could become kind leaders, creative thinkers, resilient humans. And I know that each second that we invest in our children today, as parents, as educators, we are shaping the future of this planet. And that, my dear friends, is idea worth spreading. Together, we can raise a generation that changes the world. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.